This is the way you have to be in this defense. What Dan Quinn plays is a cover one, cover three, what we call robber, Skip, dropping the safety down, he picking off crossers. But in this scheme, Skip, it's not like a Coach Belichick, a two-gap, where you keep guys off your linebackers and the linebackers. Nah, bro, let me eat. If you look at Dan Quinn, if you look at Gus Bradley, when they had the Seattle Seahawks, at their best, everybody ate. K.J. Wright, Bobby Wagner, Michael Bennett, Cliff Averill, Sherm, Bobby, Cam, Earl Thomas, everybody ate. So nobody feels left out. So they're like, man, y'all got me taking on, I'm a dummy. Y'all got me holding on blocks so Micah Parsons can run free. Nah, bro, I ain't trying to do that. Y'all got me doing this so somebody else can eat. I'm hungry too. Let me get a bite of this. So everybody feels that they're a part of it. They found a way. And I said what they should do is that when D-Law comes back, on third down, kick D-Law down inside. Put Micah Parsons on one edge, put Randy Gregory, and you have a rotation. Okay, whoever getting to the quarterback, that's how you're going to play. Dorrance Armstrong, Gallimore, all these guys. Look, but I got three guys going to be on the field on pass rushing downs all the time. Gregory, Parsons, and D-Law. All the rest of y'all, have at it. But the guys are eating. The guys feel like they're a part of it, Skip. If you look at Tom, what did Tom do? He threw the ball to Brashard Perriman. He just got there. And he threw it in the game-winning walk-off touchdown. Chris Godwin, you open, you getting the ball. Gronk, you open, you getting the ball. Mike Evans, you open, you getting the ball. Everybody feels a part of it. So that's what you got. And normally the successful teams, when you have teams like that, be it offensively or defensively, everybody gets to eat. Everybody's going to be happy. Everybody's going to ball out because everybody's a part of this. And I love what Micah Parsons says. Hey, it ain't no lone lion. We ain't no rogue male here. We are pride. And we all eat. It might not be much, Skip, but we all gonna get a taste of this gazelle. I love what he said. And you can tell, Skip, we haven't seen them play like this on defense. Everybody's sincere. Dan Quinn reminds me, Skip, of you guys, Sean McVay. You see when they do something defensively, he up there with the head back when he going crazy.
I told you, I wish he was back on the sidelines like he was at New Orleans.
Well, he would be, if he was on the sideline, he'd be just like Sean McVay. Because you see how Sean McVay hightail it down the field every time somebody does something good. But, Skip, I love this. And you can tell the way they're playing for one another. And this is why they're having the success they're having.
I hear everything you just said. And I'm going to preface my rant here by saying I love this young man. He does say all the right things. It's a fine line between arrogance and humility, and he's walking it because he's got healthy arrogance to him. Every once in a while, he'll say something that rubs you a little bit the wrong way. Can you back that up? Yeah, he can. He is coachable. He is teachable. And I think he's not a good teammate. I think he's a great teammate because he has changed the way the defense plays football. I believe that everybody actually feeds off Micah Parsons psychologically because they walk on the field thinking, we got this kid, and they don't. 11 from heaven. Okay. Now back to this quote. I read it. And part of me loved it, and the rest of me, it just tore my guts out because it's just so wrong what he's saying. It's right, but it's wrong. Because, everybody's eating. Everybody gets a little piece of the dying gazelle. Of the carcass. But he slayed the carcass.
Now you want to be all of it.
Gazelle. There's only one king of this jungle, and it's Micah bleepin' Parsons. He is extraordinary. You saw it before I saw it. But now he has taken over this one side of the ball, and he has flipped it. As Mike McCarthy said, I told you I've agreed with only one thing Mike McCarthy's ever said. I've never seen one side of the ball get flipped from one year to the next like we flipped our defense. It's because 11 fell out of heaven right into your laps. You didn't even want him. You wanted Patrick Surtain. By the way, he should have made the Pro Bowl, I thought. But whatever.
He's playing unbelievable.
Nobody from Denver but your safety should have made it, too.
Yeah, Justin Simmons,
He's a terror, man. Okay, but the point is, I'm going to say this again. I believe that as great as Dan Quinn is, the greatest job as he's done, he has cost Micah Parsons Defensive Player of the Year. Player of the Year. Because it'll come down to sacks, and you keep saying T.J. Watt, he's at 17.5, and the record is within
reach.
And then Robert Quinn is at 16, and
You know, y'all had Robert Quinn at one point in time, Skip.
I know, and Myles Garrett and Nick Bosa at 15, and my guys down here at 12.
Yeah.
Pro Football Focus grades my guy as an inside linebacker, because that's the position. That's what he made the Pro Bowl at, was inside linebacker.
But think about
it grades him as the single best pass rusher as an inside linebacker.
Oh, yeah, well, he is. Because he rushes more. He and Devin White rushes more than any other inside back.
Okay, here's the killer stat for me. Micah Parsons has played 791 snaps so far this year. Think about that, 791. He has rushed the passer 267 times. Yikes. Only 267? I mean, that's obviously way less than half the snaps.
Right.
He doesn't rush the passer. And every time I look up, when I least expect it, as if we could see what happened last Sunday at New York, I look up and he's downfield breaking up a pass on a wide receiver, Kenny Golladay. And here he made a great move, an instinctive move. I thought they were going to throw the flag on it because he didn't look really around for the ball quickly enough. He just sort of ran through it. But they didn't call a flag, so he broke up a potential touchdown pass at the goal line, and it ended up being a pretty big play in the game. So I'll give you the value of that. But remember Thursday night at New Orleans? I look up, if we could see this one, he's way downfield near the goal line, breaking up a deep throw to my little man, Kenny Stills. No longer on the Saints, but maybe Kenny should have caught the ball. But Mike actually disrupted that one, okay? So I'm going to give you those. But what does he do by far the best? He rushes the passer. I love him standing up on the edge like Von Miller. I love him standing up, dare I say, like Lawrence Taylor. I'm not saying he's Lawrence Taylor, but he has a burst. He has raw strength and explosive athleticism you just don't see. Well, utilize it. Don't try to outsmart yourself. Don't try to coach with your ego. NFL, look at me. I used to be the head coach in Atlanta. And by the way, do you remember I got Atlanta to a Super Bowl? We were up 28-3 in that Super Bowl. Remember me? I'm Dan Quinn. I want to be a head coach again. So watch what I do with Micah Parsons. I'm going to utilize him all over the field because I'm smarter than you are. No, you're not. You're stupider than everybody.
Well, if he'd had Micah Parsons, he might have been able to hold on to that 28-3 lead.
Okay, he just well might have.
But I think the thing
I'm just saying it's criminal misuse of this kid's greatest skill. He is the lion.
Skip, you can't run if he's listed as an inside backer.
Okay, I don't care what he's listed at. Do you have to be labeled and you're stuck where they said you're the inside linebacker?
Skip,
so what?
Skip, they rush him more than any other backer.
Okay, sometimes he stands up in the middle of the line. I'll give you that. And you called this first. There's a great quote from DeMarcus Lawrence because it is Micah Parsons who has allowed D-Law to move inside, and he said he loves it. He says
slow guards can't block D-Law.
He says they can't chip me anymore. I get to line up. I have a more direct shot. He said at the passer, right? Okay. Well, he's kind of liking that.
Of course.
Okay. So you make him feel a little better about himself. And Randy Greger's over there saying, "Oh, nobody's chipping me now because they're looking for 11." Right?
Yes.
Everybody wants to stop 11 from getting to the quarterback. Well, to me, when he drops back into pass coverage, I'm talking about deep drops into pass coverage where he is often on wideouts. Well, when that happens, the offensive coordinator or the quarterback has to, they're not fooled. They're sighing with relief. They're like, God, we don't have to deal with this kid in the backfield now.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, is that what Dan tries to do is that he tries to find, I should give you Aaron Donald, for example, Skip. On third down, you don't have to worry about what Aaron Donald thinks of you. Because if he's lined up over you, he feels you're the weakness. Because what he does, they'll line him up at the 9, they'll put him in a 7, they'll put him in a 9, they'll put him in a 5, they'll put him in a 3, the shade. So
how many times do they zone blitz him where he just drops out and pass? Has it happened ever in his career?
Aaron Donald is dropping on your quarterback's head.
Thank you.
But I think if you look at what Dan Quinn has done, Skip, he's gotten guys. Both of the safeties are new. They brought in he was a safety, and they put a Keanu Neal. They put him at linebacker.
And he's been pretty good.
Micah Parsons. So what they did is that they got guys to fit the scheme. I'm afraid that Mike Nolan tried to fit his scheme to the guys.
I got it.
D-Law is not a stand-up. He's a 4-3 defensive end, hand in the dirt. And if you want to bump him inside, Skip, on pass rushing downs, have at it.
Not that bad for him. I mean, it's not that different for him.
He's shaved because now he's going against guys that are slower. The guards are really slow. They might be more powerful, but they're slower. So now he can get on an edge. He's closer to the quarterback as opposed to putting him in a wide 9.
Okay.
And he can't get chipped like he said. But I just think, Skip, they're just trying to find ways. And like you said, they'll line him, stand him up. They'll put him on the guard. They'll put him on the left, put him on the right. All they're doing is just trying to find a weakness. So if you see Micah Parsons and he's lined up on you, you're it.
Okay, question. You played against Lawrence Taylor, right?
No, he tore his Achilles. I played against Derek Thomas.
Yeah, there you go.
In the same.
Let me ask you this about Lawrence Taylor, the great Lawrence Taylor, the greatest defensive player ever in many people's eyes.
Yes.
Did you ever see him downfield covering a wide receiver?
No, not wide receiver. Skip. I mean, mainly, and what they played a 3-4. He was always in the 3-4 defense. And normally 3-4 defensive ends, they play hook to flat. So you got the flat, you got the hook zone. That's as far as he's going.
Maybe you got the back coming out of the back.
Yeah. Hook the flat. I mean, you take him on a rim route, but back then they wasn't sending the back down the field 30, 40 yards down the field like they do now, Skip. So no, but Skip, I think the thing as it progresses, they're going to find more and more, and he'll probably eventually, Skip. But how do you play him at the end as a linebacker when you play a 43 defense? Because it's not like they play a 34 defense where he would always be like T.J. Watt on the end of the line of scrimmage, and he'd be able to come 85% of the time.
You just figure it out because you got what you got. You got a gift from above, and you have to maximize that gift. So I ask you, he's rushed 267 times out of 791 snaps on the field. What if he had rushed...
You want to rush half of those times,
Okay,
huh?
what if he'd rushed 500 times instead of 260?
That's too many.
Okay, 500 out of 791? I don't think it's too many because when I see it, my eyes tell me that's rare. We haven't had that for a long time.
Skip. They do run the ball. You can't pass, rush, and run. Okay. So let's just say for the sake of argument, he rushed 300 times of those 7. So you like to see him get at least, you said 267?
Yeah, 267 pass rushes so far.
Give him 30 more pass rushes.
He has 12 out of 267, 12 sacks. I didn't look up how many rushes that T.J. Watt has, but he'll zone blitz occasionally where he'll back up and try to knock the pass down in the short zone. Yeah. But the point is, I promise you, he has rushed the passer more than 267 times. So it's a matter of, you talk about Brady, well, he's just throwing more passes. Right. He has more completions, he's throwing more passes. Well, T.J. Watt has a chance to break Michael Strahan's record because he rushes the passer so many times.
But the defenses are totally different, Skip. T.J. is in a 3-4, 34 defense, and Micah's in a 43 defense.
Okay, well, then you're not adapting your defense to your talent.
But Skip, so you want him to go, you want them to scrap the 43 and go to a 34?
On the fly, yes, you do. You just figure out ways to do it. Well, you're chuckling about it, and I'm just over here losing my mind because I saw flashes of Defensive Player of the Year. And I started talking a month ago. Yeah. Stop it with the Rookie of the Year. No, this is Defensive Player of the Year.
Skip, there'll be times, Skip, there's no shame.
Yeah, you love what it is because you don't have to deal with Micah Parsons' Defensive Player of the Year, but he could have been.
He still could be, Skip. Skip, there 3 games left. Yeah. What happens if he goes on a stretch where he ends up with 16 sacks, and he causes 2 more forced fumbles?
Guess what he had at New York the other day?
He had none.
He had 0 sacks, 0 pressures, and 1 assisted tackle. Well, you can't sell that as Defensive Player of the Year, so I just threw up my hands and said, it's over.
Well, Skip, everybody has those type of games.
And it felt like he rushed the passer like 3 times, and it was Mike Glennon who was so rushable.
One of his better games was against the Washington football team, and he gets them again.
Okay. Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. So
how about 4 sacks? How about Dan Quinn come to his senses and actually rush him? I don't know.
Okay. I mean, Skip, even if he does rush, sometimes D-Law and Gregory are going to beat him to the punch.
Yeah.
It's not like they're waiting to, you go ahead, bro, get this.
Micah has no doubt been a bright spot.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.